Hi, welcome to a special Pets in Space edition of the Dead Author Live. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. We had quite a noisy renovation that lasted from December to pretty much July of this year. But we're really happy with it, and I'm excited today to be here to talk to you about Pets in Space. If you've hung around me for very long, then you know that I am one of the co-founders of the Pets in Space anthology, along with the awesome author Veronica Scott. When Veronica and I first conceived the idea for the Pets in Space anthology, there was just going to be one. One of the first things we talked about was we wanted to support a charity that benefited our veterans in some way. We wanted to honor those who ran toward danger when others are running away. And we hoped for some kind of pets tie-in. So it was total serendipity when we found Hero Dogs. This will be our 4th year as proud supporters of HeroDogs.org. Pets in Space authors and readers have donated over $7,000 in the past 3 years to help our first responders, to help place specially trained dogs with veterans and first responders. Why veterans and first responders? Well, my dad was a veteran of World War II and Korea. He was 18 years old when he was drafted into the Army, and 21 when he left for Korea. I just think about that, and it kind of boggles my mind. At 18, I was getting ready to go to college, not shipping off somewhere to be shot at. I sometimes forget how young they all were. Our greatest generation, we see them now as older men, and I think about them as young men and young women, and how young and how homesick. And my dad talks about how seasick he was and how scared. When my dad left for Korea, he'd been married for 3 months, and he didn't know if he was going to make it home. He missed the birth of his first child. He didn't know that he was going to later be called one of the greatest generation. He did his duty then and throughout his life. He was my first hero. I lost my dad just before the release of the first Pets in Space anthology, and it's because of him that one of the reasons why we support Hero Dogs so passionately, and because of all the men and women in our military and our first responders who stand ready to help us and want to help us and are there when tragedy strikes. I am so grateful for all of them. I'm also grateful for Hero Dogs and the other organizations that help our veterans and first responders recover from the wounds that they receive during their service. It is our privilege and our honor to support Hero Dogs again this year. As in the past, 10% of our pre-orders and our first month's royalties will once again be donated to HeroDogs.org. We're hoping to raise even more this year so we can help more veterans and first responders, but we need your help to do it. Please join us in supporting this very worthy cause by buying a copy of Pets in Space 4 and in sharing information about the anthology with friends and family in your real life and on social media. Most books are sold by word of mouth, and we were hoping that you'll join us in sharing information about this. I promise you that you won't regret it. You and everyone who buys a copy will get to read 13 amazing stories of romance, danger, of heroes and heroines, and of course the loyal and brave pets who help resolve the danger. It's almost 1,500 pages of great story reading, so I hope you'll remember that. It's like 5 books for the price of a cup of coffee. At least so I'm told. I don't drink coffee. And yes, I am an organizer, but I'm also one of the authors. My story in the anthology is called Cyborgs Revenge, and it's a related story in my Project Enterprise series. What is it about, you ask? Well, let me tell you. They say you can't go home again, but what if that is the only way to truly be free? Rap and Allie have a mission to neutralize the man who enslaved them and their crew. It's dangerous, with a high probability they will fail, but it's the only way for them to be truly and completely free of their past and to hopefully find a future with each other. I'd like to read you a short teaser from the story from Rap's point of view. That was the problem with plans. No matter how carefully Rap planned, stuff happened. As a robot, he'd been able to react swiftly to rapidly changing dynamics. This body was much slower, but he couldn't have executed his plan in his previous unit. And the only reason this human body had a chance was because of its cyborg enhancements. You are welcome. The AI Nelson had come with the enhancements, or the enhancements came with the AI. There was no question Nelson was key to making them work properly, but having a voice inside his head was an acquired taste. One Rap was still acquiring. Your plan is imperfect. Nelson was correct. I am always correct. Rap didn't dispute this. It felt too much like arguing with himself, even though he knew Nelson was a separate entity operating inside Rap's head. It is all we have, Rap pointed out, startled by the sound of his voice in the otherwise empty room. If not stopped, the Q, and Ruak in particular, would move against them again, harder than last time, and they'd barely survived that. Can Rap and Allie defeat their enemy and find their own happy ever after? Only Rap's chatty pet snake knows for sure. I hope you'll join us this year for 13 amazing adventures in space. Pets in Space 4 will land on e-readers all over the galaxy on October 8th, 2009, and I can't wait for you to read it. And okay, maybe not the whole galaxy, but you never know, right? And if you haven't already got a copy, go grab the free Pets in Space sampler. It's going away forever on October 7th, the day before the release of the anthology. Trust me when I say you do not want to miss out on this collection of stories and art so generously shared by the authors of Pets in Space 4 as a thank you to our readers, and it is a hearty thank you. Go to petsinspaceantho.com and click on Stay in Touch to find out how to get this free sampler, and you'll also find links. I'll put links below. And I'd like to personally thank you for your support of Pets in Space anthologies. When Veronica and I talked about the first one, we had no idea there would be 4. And there wouldn't be without you, our readers. Thank you so much for taking this adventure with us. You are the best.